I fell in love with my wife, only to find she thought killing me would steal my fortune. She didn't know me yet. My name's Victor, and this is my story. I'm a 58-year-old real estate tycoon from New York, New York. After my first wife succumbed to illness a decade ago, I channeled my grief into building an empire, luxurious penthouses, sprawling countryside estates, a fortune totaling $15 million that I'd earned through grit and vision. 5 years ago, in 2020, I met Elena, a mesmerizing 35-year-old art dealer with a smile that lit up rooms. Her charm and grace swept me off my feet, leading to a lavish wedding I believed was the start of a new chapter. But lately, a gnawing unease took hold. I'd been feeling frail, struck by dizzy spells and a weakness that confounded doctors. Blood tests revealed traces of a toxin, vague yet alarming, hinting at foul play. Elena was always there, hovering with herbal teas she insisted would restore me. But I began to notice oddities, locked drawers she guarded fiercely, secretive phone calls she cut short, and her persistent nudging for me to sign a new will I hadn't reviewed. One fateful night, my suspicions crystallized. I watched her slip a powdery substance into my evening drink, her hands trembling with a purpose I couldn't ignore. I played along, sipping just enough to spill it discreetly later. The next morning, shaken but resolute, I hired a private investigator, Marcus. A week later, his report shattered my world. Elena had consulted a shady chemist, procuring a slow-acting poison to ease my suffering and secure my estate. The betrayal was a dagger, but a fire ignited within. I wouldn't let her win. How did I outsmart her? Stay tuned. The investigator's report hit me like a freight train. Elena and her chemist had been scheming for months, crafting a poison to mimic a natural decline, ensuring my death would be chalked up to age or illness. She'd already forged a will in my name, transferring my $15 million empire to her, and had begun siphoning off minor assets. $200,000 vanished into accounts I didn't recognize. I lay in my opulent bedroom, an IV drip humming beside me, my hands trembling as I pored over the evidence, rage simmering beneath my frail exterior. I called my lawyer, Sophia, my voice a hoarse whisper. "Dig deeper into this," I commanded. She brought in a forensic expert who confirmed the toxin in my system matched the teas Elena served, a chilling link to her treachery. Digital forensics uncovered her texting a lover, a slick real estate broker named Daniel, about our future together once I was out of the picture. My heart sank into a pit of despair, but a plan began to take shape. I remembered a hidden trust fund, $5 million from an old land deal, stashed away and unknown to Elena, my secret weapon. The report also hinted at Daniel's shady past, $300,000 in unpaid taxes and a looming fraud lawsuit. I instructed Sophia to probe further. This could be my trump card. Lying there, surrounded by the beeping of medical machines, I felt a surge of determination. They saw me as a dying relic, but I was about to rewrite their narrative. What was my next move? Keep watching. With my health fading, I knew time was my enemy, yet my resolve strengthened. I instructed Sophia to freeze all joint accounts and draft divorce papers, citing Elena's attempted murder as grounds. She also enlisted a PI to delve into Daniel's fraud, $300,000 in unpaid taxes and a lawsuit threatening his career. This was my ammunition. My sister Margaret flew in from Boston, her face etched with worry at my gaunt appearance, but burning with determination. "We'll stop her, Victor," she promised. I tasked her with shadowing Elena and installing a hidden camera in the kitchen, where Elena prepared my healing teas. The footage soon arrived. Elena mixing the poison with a cold, calculating smile, a sight that chilled my blood. I reached out to a journalist friend, Paul, from my early real estate days, sharing the PI's initial findings and asking him to hold off until my signal. My hidden trust fund financed a private nurse to keep me alive as I schemed, her care a lifeline. That night, I sifted through old photos of Elena and me, her laughter now a bitter echo. Tears streaked my face, but I wiped them away, steeling myself. She'd underestimated my will to survive, and I'd make her regret it. What happened when I struck? Stay tuned. I bided my time until I could stand, a fragile but unyielding figure. On a rainy November afternoon in 2024, I left my sickbed and returned to our Manhattan mansion. Elena's jaw dropped, her shock palpable. "You're still alive," she stammered, her facade cracking. I nodded, my voice steady despite the tremor in my limbs. Margaret had orchestrated a family reunion, luring relatives, close friends, and a few discreet allies to our home, unaware of the storm I'd unleash. Elena played the devoted wife, her smiles a mask I now saw through. I stood at the head of the grand dining table, leaning on a polished cane, and began. Elena thought killing me would steal my fortune. She didn't know me yet, I declared. The room fell silent, tension thick. I played the kitchen footage, her poisoning my tea, her smug grin as she plotted my end. Gasps erupted as I presented the forensic report confirming the toxin and Daniel's fraud ties, which Paul had just exposed online. A projector flashed photos of their clandestine meetings, kissing in a parked car, dining with my stolen cash. Elena lunged forward, screaming, "This is a fabrication," but I silenced her with the frozen accounts and divorce papers. She fled, her dignity shredded, as the crowd turned on her with disdain. Was that the end? Not quite. The aftermath was a cascade of retribution. Elena's social circle crumbled. Friends blocked her number. Her art gallery clients canceled contracts, and her name became synonymous with disgrace. Daniel faced arrest for fraud, his real estate ventures collapsing as creditors closed in. The divorce finalized on a frigid January day in 2025. I retained my $15 million empire and the mansion, leaving Elena with mounting legal fees and a ruined reputation. I relocated to a quieter estate upstate, my health stabilizing under a dedicated nurse's care. Margaret assisted me in reviving my business, and I penned a memoir, Poison Trust, recounting my ordeal. The book sold 100,000 copies in its first month, its proceeds funding a charity for elder abuse awareness. Fans hailed my resilience, their admiration a balm, though they knew only half the story. Elena's tear-stained apologies arrived in letters I consigned to flames, her pleas ignored. I forgave her inwardly, not for her sake, but to release my own pain, beginning therapy to mend my fractured trust. Yet, a final strike simmered in my thoughts, a last act to cement her downfall. What was my final move? It's coming. In the gray dawn of March 2025, Sophia uncovered Elena's last gambit, a hidden $100,000 account, her ticket to flee the country and evade justice. I directed her to tip off the IRS, and within days they seized the funds, tacking tax evasion onto Elena's legal woes. She faced prison, her once lavish life reduced to a stark cell. I harnessed my memoir's success to expand the charity, hosting a gala on May 15, 2025, that raised $1 million for elder protection. My story inspired a TV special, The Poisoned Air, which aired on June 5, 2025, laying bare Elena's plot to millions. Clips of her treachery went viral, and she vanished into obscurity, a cautionary tale etched in infamy. At 58, I stood prouder than ever, my cane a badge of survival and triumph. I'd transformed her greed into my victory. She thought killing me would claim my fortune, but she didn't know me. My hidden trust, evidence, and public shame crushed her utterly. What would you do? Share your thoughts below.